Oh.
What's going on, YouTube? This is Guy in the back seat here with a couple cards that we're going to say these cards are better than. Mysteries. You gotta love them. Anyway, point is there's a lack of creativity in deck building recently. Biggest problem that I have are that these two cards are mained. Well, sort of mained, but very mained. And there's a much superior counterpart to this and a far superior counterpart to this that people don't play because they're like, I don't want to play it because Billy Brake doesn't play it and because all those fancy meta players don't play it. You know what? Learn to build your decks. Billy Brake built his decks, and you know what? Everybody copied him because he won. But you know, if you put new cards in that people don't expect,
you never know.
It makes you look like a good player. If you didn't know.
If they're good cards.
If they're good cards. So what are we doing? Well, we're gonna save you for last. We're going to do Dark Bribe first. Dark Bribe in itself was amazing. It won a YCS with TGs because a guy was playing 3 of this and stopped everything. Yeah, but it was also when TrueNade was legal. Just saying. TrueNade was legal. Treeborn was new. TGs were new. Nobody knew what they really did. Horn of the Phantom Beast was unknown. What happened? YCS happened and this card became a main deck card, sorta, kinda. And I played it for a while, and it was great. But then I was thinking, like, how do I make my opponent not plus? Because when MST went to 3, I was like, great. I'm going to chain this to MST, and they're going to MST my new card. Because they're just going to draw MST off this. So, maybe. So this card says, you can negate a spell or trap at counter speed, and then your opponent draws a card. This is awesome. But unfortunately, you'll find yourself 9 times out of 10 stopping a spell way more than a trap, and the only trap you're really going to stop is Solemn, which they're having to pay a lot for anyway. So they're the Solemn Brigade.
Maybe Mirror Force and Torrential.
Maybe a Mirror Force, maybe a Torrential, but the point is, traps are not mained in today's meta. It's all about spells.
Yeah.
So I said, why not make a better bribe? Magic Drain, anybody? If you aren't familiar with this card, which you shouldn't be, because nobody plays the card because it's that old and it's that awesome. Pharaoh's Servant, mind you. Pharaoh's Servant. Set 4, when counter spells first came out. Magic Drain says, when your opponent activates a spell card, negate that spell card. Unless the opponent discards a spell, that's a 1-card investment. And it has to be a spell. It can't just be any card. So Dark Worlds don't get the plus off of it. And it's amazing because they say, oh, MST, and you're like, okay, if you want to MST my other back row, I'm going to use Magic Drain. And you're going to discard a card to get your MST to blow up my other card. Or it doesn't work.
There's too many crucial spells this format, so it's hard to decide whether or not to negate
But it's still, by pitching that other part of duality, you can just destroy the entire backfield.
That is true. Yeah, but the point is, you still had to get rid of a duality that they could have used next turn.
Yeah.
So anyway,
or a monster.
The point is, spells are crucial. There's no Magician of Faith. There's no Demox, so you can't get back your spells once they die. So advocating the use of Magic Drain over Dark Bribe.
Think about it. You know.
Okay. Pluses, negatives. Which one? Regular Yu-Gi-Oh says you win. This says negate traps, so it wins because the meta's stupid. This card is only played because it shows you the hand.
Yeah.
I have talked to people and they have said that if this card did not reveal the hand, there would be no point in playing this card because removing a monster from their hand and putting it back in the deck and shuffling it is not as superior as, you know, just discarding a card or some crap. So what does Dust Shoot do? Well, Dust Shoot says if they have 4 cards in their hand, 4, only 4 works, only 4 or more. 4 is a big number, except the first turn. Then you can pick, you look at their hand, you pick a monster and put it back in the deck and shuffle it. And when you hit this and they have E-Call, when you hit this and they have Rhoda, when you hit this and they have a Sangan, when you hit this, just all those cards that search, or Stratos, whatever. You know, you'll hit a Stratos with this and you'll laugh because they have an E-Call. So it doesn't matter. All you did was slow them down by 1 point, sort of. So what does Trap Dash do? It does crap in the meta. It doesn't help. It doesn't do anything good.
No,
it just lets you see the hand, which means you can see that Gores and put it back in the deck. High five.
Or the Tengu.
Or the Tengu. But the thing is, by putting the Tengu back in the deck, when they only have a Tengu in hand and they have a Tengu on field, that's stupid. You just help them.
Yeah,
so anyway, point is, Trap Dash Shoot's great. In its own right.
And this sucks when you only have, like, let's say you have a Lone Fire hand and a Line hand, what we choose between those two.
Exactly. And so what does Dust Shoot also do? It's limited.
Yeah.
So you know what limited means? In a 42 card build, which seems to be the standard around where we live, you have a 17% chance of drawing this in your opening hand. 17%. You know what that is? That's like saying, I'm going to play Dice Jar and always roll 6. Always roll 6, because rolling 6 is 16% chance of happening in Dice Jar. You know what? This is 17% chance of drawing into the open hand, and everybody uses all their cards unless they max C.
Yeah.
Which in that case, good job for you to put that max C back. But they can chain max C, can't they? Can they chain max C to this activation?
Maybe.
I think they can.
I think they can. So, point is, you hit the max C, and then the effect fizzles because they just pitch the max C.
You have to do max C. You have to do max C before the hand gets revealed. So
either way, point is, Trap Dust Shoot sucks in my opinion, and this card, which is unlimited, is far superior. Now, this video is going a little long, so I'm gonna sum it up. Point is, unlimited, 42 card deck, 43% chance of drawing this in the opening hand. 43%. That's almost half.
If you're running 3.
Almost half if you're running 3. If you're running 2, the odds are still in your favor. You're at about 30% chance of drawing it in the opening hand. That's crazy bigger than this. This also works in Top Deck Wars. And I don't know if you've ever gotten into Top Decks where you're top decking, the opponent's top decking because somebody board wiped and they're stupid and overextended, and both players only have no cards, and they both draw. You Light Force Sword, and you hit the one card in their hand, and it goes like this. By the way, mind you, just for instance, no Burial from Different Dimension works on this. No Lavier works on this. You hit the Survivor in their hand while they have macro, it doesn't work. You hit DD Scout Plane, which says if it's ever removed, it doesn't work because it does this to it. It says, here's their hand, because you don't get to see, but you pick it and you put it down. And you put a dice on top of it that says 4!
That's enough time for the game, pretty much.
And you know what happens? This card is out of play face down for 4 turns. 4 turns. You know what that means? Their standby phase? They have to wait. Their standby phase? They have to wait.
By the time it's
their standby phase? They have to wait.
By the time it's one turn, it's over already.
Now it's in their hand.
BLS.
It's 3 turns. If they top deck BLS for the win, it's gone. And by the way, activate in triplicate, and they don't have 3 cards for 4 turns, game over. This card is ridiculous, and I think it should be hollow. It needs to be reprinted, Ulti, Ultra, Ghost, everything. It's that good.
Maybe rare.
Oh, wait, it was a rare in Pharaoh's Servant.
Don't forget Dual Terminal.
Both, mind you, Pharaoh's Servant recap here. Both from Pharaoh's Servant, both that good, that old.
Old, yes.
Just mind you. You pick any card, Spell, Trap, Monster, Ritual, because Rituals suck, and I call them a new type of monster because they suck in your hand. You hit any of those cards, and it goes like this, out of play for 4 turns. They can't do anything to it for 4 turns. The only thing that can be done, the only thing is Necroface.
It goes back to the deck.
Necroface puts everything back in the deck, which is okay. But 4 turns. The game's over in 4 turns. In the meta right now, isn't it? Like, what's the longest game you play at like regionals? What do you play? Like maybe 6 turns? Maybe 6 turns?
Depends on the deck you're running, but
depends on the deck. But point is, 4 turns, gone. Card is gone. I beat an Exodia deck with this. It felt so Yugi. It was great. So I'm just saying, Light Force Sword in 3s, Superior 2, and/or Dust Shoot.
You can still run like triple and a dust.
I mean, you can run triple and Dust Shoot, which is just stupid because you can get rid of a 4-card hand. But that's not the point here. The point is, if this also doesn't target. Just saying, it doesn't target because it says randomly select.
Yeah.
Which means if they MST in response, like, because you can MST in response to a Dust Shoot, and their effect disappears because they don't have 4 cards anymore. If they MST in response to this, they just helped you. Because now they have less targets for you to grab and the MST's gone. So anyway, point is, play this and play this. These 2 cards inspire creativity, inspire new deck use, throw players off. These cards, good job Billy Break, but everybody else, sorry, you're just net decking losers. So play these. Don't play these. Because, well, if you want to play them in both, I don't care, but the point is, negs, pluses. 4 cards, 1 card. Limited, unlimited. Stupid, amazing. Point is, just play these. Good job, DoomVeilerGames. Subscribe.